elected president, I will bring it back bigger and better and stronger than ever before, and we will make America great again. Thank you. Thank you very much. 2016, year of the snake. Time for a change in the White House.
Hey folks, how's it going?
Bring
Little laser snake this morning, guys. Good morning, Yvette. Good morning, Kim. You know what to do. Click that share button. Good morning, Chris. You know what you're doing. You know what you're watching. Hey, John, how's it going? Trump Talk US live in DC. Just 20 minutes from our fantastic president. Fantastic president. And it has been a busy weekend. How you doing, Mary? The laser snake this morning, you guys. We'll get to the chorus here. This good part coming up. That's what we're doing, folks. Making America great again. One day at a time. One Trump talk at a time, folks. How's it going? Hey, Mary, how is it going? Yes, yes, yes. I know. Isn't that interesting? Interesting. FBI losing all the text. Where did the text messages go? Isn't this interesting how the government loses emails, texts? They just don't know what they're doing up there. But we want them to release one little memo. We're getting the memo. We're going to get that memo. The memo is coming. We're going to talk about that at the end of the show. We're going to talk about, let's first talk about the shutdown. If you're watching this show, of course, click share. As you know, Trump Talk US is working with Stand With POTUS. I chair Stand With POTUS PAC. You can go to standwithpotus.com to help support our mission. I got to show you that. If I got to show you this, I'll show you that. FEC rules, people. We are rule of law types. So, yeah, of course, they're going to reopen. That didn't take long, right? That's because the government shutdown didn't work. Now, if y'all caught my video on the night of the shutdown, I was at the Capitol building. Oatmeal. Delicious breakfast, but sometimes you got to rinse it down. Much better. Excuse me. So I was at the Capitol building when they shut it down. Nothing really happened in the building. Okay. They didn't put a big sign out. Nobody rolled up the big, whoo, it shut down. Nobody did all that. The light didn't even go off. Nothing happened, but it certainly made a big enough stink. And the reason they are able to get this thing passed so quickly is the Democrats, they tried, but what they found is that nobody was buying, nobody was falling for it. That's why I got back so fast. You notice how CNN, the AP, all of these news sites over the weekend immediately started blaming the Democrats. And we today, Monday morning, we're able to get a deal. Government's back open. Why? Because the Democrats weren't winning the narrative war. Good morning, Denise. How's it going? Denise, actually, you guys had a great rally. We're talking about rallies a little bit. We're talking about marches. You guys had a great conservative women's march in Las Vegas. Did you not? You were there, right? That was my MAGA girls, right? Who were there, counter marching with the, against the women's march, their big, things. And, if you guys don't know, Denise, does a lot of stuff. MAGA girls do a lot of stuff, organizing and coordinating activities across, all over California, across the country even, and promoting other MAGA patriot women. And that's awesome. That's awesome, Denise. And that's what we're going to need to do. We need to keep doing that kind of stuff and supporting each other while we're doing it, you guys. That's what's so important when, going forward in this movement. We have an opportunity to really come together and support each other. And I think that it sort of inoculates us from future drama and anger and frustration and all this crap that goes on when we actually get to know each other in person Okay? Connect with one another as individuals, meet each other, go to these events, meet our other Trump family. It becomes much more possible and much more likely that we're going to stay together as a family, as a group, as a movement. So please get out there, get involved. If you don't have any other way to get involved, Denise will tell you where to get involved. Denise knows MAGA women across the country, great patriot women doing awesome stuff that you can help out with. Just like me. And just like her. And just like a lot of the people here doing great stuff. So get involved, get involved, get involved. Now, here in D.C., we had a huge March for Life, amazing March for Life. As you know, it was the first March for Life that the sitting president has addressed. So we made history. Now, some people were already given the poo-poo because nobody was. I literally watched somebody say, oh, well, how were people responding to the president when he spoke at the event? And I'm like, they're pretty good. But they were like, oh, people were kind of not really paying attention. In my perspective, everyone was sort of staring rapt at like a giant screen. It was a little bit almost Hunger Games feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all staring at this giant screen. And it was on these big metal brackets. If it wasn't for a sunny day, I would have really felt I was in some sort of movie of the future. But in fact, it was an excellent president speech. The president utterly in support of the mission, utterly in support of the March for Life people. And it was a great thing to see that happen live and to see people's reaction. There were a ton of people there. Oh, Betty, sorry about the blizzard conditions. Stay warm, stay inside. Keyboard warrior, some Trump stuff, you know, all kinds of things you can do while you're stuck in the house. You can still get stuff done. If you can be here on the internet, you can still be getting stuff done. Yeah, even if you're just sharing good stuff the president's doing. Good stuff. So, the March for Life was huge here, guys. Huge, huge, huge. We had a great big march. Don't listen to the media if they tell you anything otherwise, because it was a fantastic turnout. Tons of people. Beautiful day. The Women's March the next day. Okay. Saturday. The Women's March the next day. Okay, let me just say, for one, it was in no way the Women's March from 2017, okay? The Pussy Out March from 2017, a lot more women. This March, not nearly as many people were there. And what I found, we drove around the entire March site and sort of got a whole spectrum of what was going on. And around 1 o'clock is when they were supposed to start marching from the Lincoln Memorial to the White House, okay? Because they were going to march and then protest at the White House. But nobody was really at the Lincoln Memorial speaking there. There was a small group of people there, but most of the women were actually already milling up towards the White House and also back towards the White House. So the march was kind of dispersed in more of a meander, a wander, if you will. It was the women's wander. It was the women's stroll. Not really so much of a march. I was there at 1 o'clock waiting for them to be marching, and they were kind of just meandering. And a few, called you names. We, what is that about? We can't have any of that. We're just gonna remove that altogether. Yeah, we'll just do that. We'll just do that, right? That just doesn't even make sense to me. It doesn't even make sense to me. Now, Betty, indeed, I also will, I noticed, oddly, even though there were a lot of women at the March for Life, a lot of nuns, in fact, I did not notice any of these women at the Women's March, because I don't know if you know this. I'm not teaching anything. It's not really a women's march. It's a women who hate Trump march. Because if you show up with your Trump gear, or if you drive by and wish everybody happy Trump anniversary like I did, they get very mad at you and they call you names. And they call you an asshole and whatever. And you just smile and you just wave. You know why? Because we won. That's why you just smile and wave. That's why I love going out to troll these events, you guys. I have a great time. And I do it with, I do it with a smile on my face and love in my heart. Because you know what? When it comes down to it, I don't care how angry these women are, how upset these women are, how many times they want to write the word pussy on a sign and blame President Trump for stuff he had no role in whatsoever. No matter how many times they do that, it doesn't matter because it's President Trump. President. We won. So that's why I just say happy Trump anniversary. It's a great day to be an American. And I wave and I smile. Yeah, Fred, I don't know why. I don't know why they're not giving you notification. They should be giving you notification. Make sure you go to the Trump Talk US page and make sure I'm sure you have. I don't understand why it's so Mary was watching. It was funny, right? We had a good time. We had a good time. They are, and Denise, this is what's so funny this year. Now, I will say this, okay? I don't think all of the women's march, hey, Peggy, how's it going? I don't think all of the women's march people got the memo, okay? Because there were a lot of still wearing the racist pink pussy. You know, this is racist. I just love saying it because it trolls they troll themselves. They literally troll themselves. Fred, we're going to celebrate with you when that happens. There are a lot of women still wearing the pink, the racist pink pussy hat because, you know, it's supposedly the social justice warriors in the movement are mad because the pink pussy hat, supposedly all women don't have pink genitalia. I mean, I hate to get into the details of it, but actually it really depends on what part of the genitalia you're talking about because you get far enough in the genitalia, it's pink. It's not, however, none of it is neon pink, which is the color of the hat. I thought it was pink just because pink is women's color. Pink is, you know, breast cancer uses pink. But they literally have now, some of them have decided that that's racist. And I did not see any brown. No, Mary, I did not see any brown pussy hats. Did not see it. I want to make like a peach one. See if that, like, you know, like apricot. I think white pussy. Denise, you have don't you have a white with ears, a white with ears hat? I think I've seen you in a photo with a white with ears hat. That's probably even like double racist because it's white, you know, and everything white is racist. Not to mention that you are using the pussy hat, which I have, you know me, I have the MAGA one, the red MAGA pussy hat, and they don't like that one either, you know. But nobody's vagina is bright red, so nor does it say MAGA on it. Although that would be kind of exciting if you know a girl whose vagina is bright red and says MAGA on it, just introduce me, all right? I want to meet her just for curiosity's sake, right? So yeah, no, there were lots of women who did not get the memo. They did not, I know, I got a little carried away there, John, excuse me. They did not get the memo, so they were wearing still the pink pussy hats, carrying a bunch of weird signs, and they seemed even less coordinated on their concept of why they were there than they did last year. And as we see, they are more anti-capitalist, more communist, more really, you know, the hardcore ones still in the hats, marching around, meandering around. They're really lefties. Okay. They're lefties. And they are already the people who are involved in other organizations, other radical leftist groups, and are, you know, using the Women's March and these other things as a vehicle for these other agendas, for these lefty agendas, for these communist agendas, for these anti-American agendas. It's really what happened. And we all know that, you know, under umbrellas like George Soros' Open Border Society, there's ways in which the left organizations actually fund that, and that funding trickles down into these different ways, and we start to be able to see them fund other things. So, you know, this person can help sponsor, and this group can help sponsor, and, you know, all the way up here, it's actually being paid by the same group, you know. So it looks like, oh, this is grassroots. Lots of different groups sponsored the Women's March. When you start to look back, when you map up where those groups all end up getting their money from, you start to see some really interesting connections. And you start to see how we're being operated against. And even with all of that operation, even with all that funding, it's getting less and less and less popular. They're getting less and less people who are willing to respond to that behavior. They just aren't getting as many people to show up to these events. So they're losing. They're losing slowly. And if you saw all the way across the country, the women's events all the way across the country without, let's just call it like it is, without the draw of President Trump. We're going to talk about that next, Mary. Without the draw of President Trump here in D.C., there was certainly not the drive, the anger to get the large numbers that they were able to get last year. So Trump makes your rally better. And if you all know, Trump tweeted delightfully encouraging the women to get out to march and enjoy all of the great benefits that women have received under the first year of President Trump's administration. Now, I want to talk about what Mary is saying. Mary says they did have voter registration tables. This is what's so important, you guys. Right, Bunenberg, right, Peggy, right. We have to get on this. So, and I'll speak to Denise and I'll speak to everyone who gets involved with any rallies, events. If you are doing a rally and event, you can be the person to register voters. You can do it. No, you don't need, real clear, let's be clear. You don't need permission to register voters. Okay? You can do it yourself. And there's a great patriot. There's a great patriot, Suzzanne Walsh. If you know about her, she's out in California. During the campaign last year, she's an ex-Democrat, flipped over, voted for Trump, full bore on the Trump train. She actually just went to the post office, went and got voter registration forms and kept blank ones on herself, on her person, just a citizen. Didn't work with anybody. Just a citizen. And would go around when she would see people, meet people, talk to people at 7-Eleven or at the grocery store, wherever she was, she would get people registered to vote. Now, if you are going to a rally, if you are going to an event, if you are going to be at a march somewhere, let's all get on this mission. Go to the post office, go to online. We can get, every one of us is able to find the resources, voter registration, get forms. Get forms and sign people up wherever you're at. Make sure people are registered. You can run your own voter registration drive. I know that for a fact because fellow patriots have done it. So there's no reason every event from this point on, some of us are going to be at least at every event, even if we're not organizing, we're not coordinating every event. Thank you, Fred. Even if we're not coordinating every event, as long as one of us patriots who knows this mission is there with voter registration forms, we can be getting the job done. And reach out to these rallies and events and marches that you intend to go to. Reach out to them. Tell them you want to do voter registration. If they say, no, bring your clipboard, do it by yourself. If they say, yes, bring in a little table. Get big with it. Get huge with it. We can do the work ourselves. We can, just chant it with me. We can do the work ourselves. We can do the work ourselves. John, don't care. I know you didn't care either. Just don't care if they laugh at you. Just say, psh, psh. Get a little, sometimes there's some things about gay culture that we could all use a little bit more of. We could all learn a little bit from. And that finger, psh, they ain't taking it. That, psh, we could all use that a little bit more. We'd all use that a little bit more. So they laugh at you, too bad. So they don't like what you're doing, too bad. Yes, Mary, look, do some research. Let's do some research together. All of us can do some research. But from my experience talking with other patriots who have done it. Oh yeah, Denise, that's horrible. The driver's license thing, and they're going to actually start registering them automatically through the driver's license, which since illegals can get driver's license in California, it's going to basically be a registration program that registers illegals. That needs to be dealt with legislatively right away. Somebody needs a ballot initiative to stop that right there. Yes, Mary, thank you. while you are registering voters, impress upon them the absolute necessity that they actually do go vote. Yes, 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 yes. So important. So important. So we can be doing this stuff, and going forward, we can be a huge force. If each individual just decides to do their part in the process of registering voters, that's the mission we can be on. And it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Chris, have a great day. Release the memo. Chris knows about the memo. Chris has been fun. We're going to talk about this memo. You guys, in just a minute. But Chris knows. We're making progress on this memo. Let me hydrate. So, March for Life was huge here. Women's March, less huge, more of a meander. But as Mary says, they are registering. That's what they're using this event for, and they're going to use future events the same way. They don't need to get a lot of it. If they can get people registered and active who were fed up and didn't vote last year, we have to fight voter for voter. And it's not just, we have a lot of momentum on our side, but you guys, even more so, as we know, the establishment can steal votes. I'm not teaching anybody anything new. The establishment is capable of stealing votes via a variety of methods, voter fraud, dead voters. We know that happens. Affecting the machines. All of this, they can do a little bit. When it all adds up, they can steal about 10% of the vote, which means we need to be able to beat their candidates by 10%. And I calculated from observing the Roy Moore election, it's more like 15. It's more like 15% in these state elections. Fred, this is awesome. Senate voted on Monday 81-18 to break a Democratic filibuster on the government spending bill, clearing the way for Congress to approve the stopgap measure and end the 3-day government shutdown. Because it didn't work. Because the narrative, and you guys, a lot of this was everybody getting, Kim, they're really bad about the law. Everybody getting on message, I think, quickly made it obvious, even to the fake news, whose fault the issue was. So I just want to congratulate everybody on their hashtag Schumer shutdowns. I want to congratulate everybody on really, tacking down that narrative. We really beat that narrative war. So good. Yeah, they're getting hammered. Totally hammered. Yeah, even CNN. When CNN says that, look, you guys are getting blamed for it more than anybody, even CNN says, you've lost the narrative war. We were on top of it. It's one of the things that's most amazing about the Trump movement. We're fast, you guys. We're fast on the social media. We are on it right then, and hashtagging and trending topics and getting information out there and sharing the information, spreading the information. We are a force of social media to be reckoned with, which is why we were able to so secure the hashtag Schumer shutdown narrative. Thanks, Sebastian. I appreciate your concern for my dental well-being. And we'll go like that. See, this right here, we'll just pause for a minute. This little gap right here, this one right here, it's a troll trap, okay? This is a troll trap. That's what I do. See, because I'm talking, and everybody who's paying attention to what I'm saying, it doesn't even register that there's a natural beauty gap between my teeth. It doesn't register to you because you guys are listening, paying attention. You see, you're paying attention. But if you're not paying attention, if this is all over your head, okay, if what I'm talking about is all over your head and it doesn't, I don't know what you're saying, then you can't help but be focused on this gap, right? Right, Brandy? Thank you very much. Yeah, right? So then you say something stupid like, oh, the gap in your teeth. And then I see you and I go, troll, and I delete you. Troll trap. This is why it doesn't bother me when they insult me. Because it's literally, that's the sound. When someone says, oh, something insulting about the gap in your teeth, that's the sound of the trap. Catching the troll. Yeah. No, actually, there's a lot of, if you read the history of it, Peggy, there's a lot of supposedly good things about it. It's supposedly good fortune. I don't know. I think some of that might be myths because, I know, right? Gilman, no. And none of this color is actually my natural hair color. all good. It's all good. So let's talk about the memo. The memo. Yeah, a lot of people do, Peggy, and I feel like, genetically that means somewhere we're all genetically linked. Somewhere the gap gene, it's got to be connected, which means I'm somehow related to Shaquille O'Neal. Who knew? Who knew? Somehow, somewhere, some DNA, me and Shaquille. So, hashtag release the memo, you guys. The another thing that we on the Trump train are making, are getting out there. Thank you, Denise. Thank you, Peggy. Lauren McCall, awesome. We are getting that message out to the people. And we have been quick on it. In fact, I feel like we have a lot more, all this room still to get even more of the message out, because I feel like the deep Trumpers right away were on hashtag release the memo. And then, I feel like I trust on my deep Trumpers. They message me. They're like, Suzzanne, hashtag release the memo. You know about the memo? And I'm like, ooh, the memo. And I get on there and I'm like, hashtag release the memo. Madeline. That's awesome. Thank you, Madeline. Now you give me a laugh, which is good. We can share. Now I feel better. Now I feel like I get a little jelly in my belly. A laugh jelly. I don't have that either, Peggy. I don't have that either. So I got on the hashtag release the memo. I'm on the release memo. Then, everybody really started to spread. Now the memo is a FISA memo that carefully delineates how the government was deeply involved in criminal actions when they were investigating the Trump administration. And from my understanding of the memo, there are names named, there are situations explained and described that will clearly undermine, to the point of failure, the Mueller investigation, and actually considerable damage to other people in the government with potential explosive charges, criminal charges. Now, here's what I do know, because we still have some we're still waiting. Now, I want to everybody be careful. Let's start with this before I even start talking about what we know for facts. Let's just talk about what we don't know for facts. Be careful, okay? Because in a situation like hashtag release the memo, we are so ripe to be given a bunch of fake news, okay? Fake news is a huge risk in this issue, hashtag release the memo. So I'm going to ask everybody, okay? Before you release something on your page, before you post something that is the memo, verify it from not just 3 this time, but 4 different sites you trust. 4 sites. Make sure it's the same. Because we need to extra vet. As we all know, usually the best thing to do if you want to make sure and verify that a story is real, you check it with a site you trust. You check it with you check and see if they're reporting it on the left. You check and see if they're reporting it on Fox. Okay? Notice I did not say a site you trust and Fox together. I just want you to point that out. Okay. Site you trust. Are the left talking about it or the right talking about it? You balance that together. Okay? Here, on the memo, site you trust. Second site you trust. Third site you trust. As mainstream of a site as you can find, because the left isn't going to talk about the memo. This is how we're going to vet the memo. And make sure, thank you, Mary, thank you. Make sure those sites are not just copying each other. Do your homework. Mary, smart. See, exactly. Mary is doing, Mary already knows. Because, this is what I love about the people who tune into my show. I was just somebody was asking me the other day, how would you describe the people who tune into your show? And I'm like, well, they're educated. They're on top of the issues. They're smart. They're engaged. They are productive, responsible members of society, work hard, all of these things, because this is what I find. You guys know when you do the right thing before I even tell you. So Mary knows already. not posting the one page because we got to find out, and over time, give it a couple days. Let the conspiracy tinfoil hat trumpers, okay, post crazy, read, absorb, but don't reflect until we get all the facts, okay? Because the memo is too important to this is what they will try to do, okay? They're going to try to diffuse the impact of the memo by making a bunch of fake memos that have all kinds of crazy claims, and then we don't listen to any of them. They do it with every single conspiracy theory, if you've noticed. Any conspiracy conspiracy, quote unquote, that has merit. Okay? What comes along? A bunch of other conspiracy theories that agree with the main premise, but in crazy ways. For example, 9/11. Now, we all know there are specific questions about 9/11 and what happened on 9/11 that are not answered. The government's explanation does not answer the question. And we all know there's people who it wasn't planes, it was the pod people who were flying into crazy people saying crazy things. They do that to diminish the questions we all know are real. They do it to diminish the real conspiracy by flooding conspiracy theories. And they're going to do this with this memo. They're going to release a bunch of different memos that aren't the memo to undermine the message of the memo. No, the Dems are already trying to spin it. Mary, absolutely correct. So easy to do respect. Yes, I agree. Vet all the information. I agree. No one will get in. They follow a different set. I agree, Marty, but we have an opportunity like never before. We have an opportunity like never before to hold our government accountable, and we need to take advantage of that. Whether or not we all wanted lock her. I chanted lock her up with all of you. Is she locked up? Is she gonna get locked up? Probably not. Does that mean we shouldn't have chanted lock her up the whole time? No, we chanted properly. We chanted. We continue. You have to continue to demand the government do its job even when they don't. Because just going, oh, you're not going to do your job? Fine. We're not going to do anything. Gets lazier government. More corrupt government. They get away with more. That's how we've gotten to the place we're at right now, you guys. I hate to say it, but this is what has happened. We've let the government get away with too much for too long. So if we don't raise our voice, if we don't use the vehicle we have now, because we have turned on the American electorate. We have been energized by the Trump administration, by the idea, the vision to make this country great again. That mission, that concept that Trump promoted around the country and won the presidency on, that idea is a vehicle we now have that woke up. It woke up a ton of people. We now have an opportunity to use that wokeness, that awakened population, that awakened electorate, okay, to actually engage and demand the government do what we need it to do, what we want it to do, and what we expect it to do for the American people, what it's supposed to do. So we have to take advantage of that. Even if it hasn't worked in the past, even if we've seen government get away with it time and time again, we have to keep acting now. Why are you interviewing the same? I don't know, Nelson, what that's about. No, Kim, you are absolutely correct. We are an entity that the left was not at all prepared for. The left did not expect for the American population to wake up. They expected the American population to stay in that easily manipulatable space where the TV commercials we see just tell us what to think and we just Big Brother at the little box. That's what they thought they had. What they didn't realize they had was actually a bunch of people who had been staring at their little box, but had been angrier, more frustrated, had been getting more and more engaged via the Tea Party movement, be it all sorts of movements that have led up to where we are at today with the MAGA movement, with the Trump train. So, they didn't expect that. They didn't expect anybody to be awake. They expected us to, yes, it's hard to say. I'm not going to keep saying it, Becky. Some words sometimes get stuck right out here. They get stuck. They don't come out properly. So we should take advantage of that. Patricia, no more ads, no more fake news. Yes, there's a lot of people who have not turned back on cable. They're watching OAN. They're watching, you can watch a lot of the Fox News feeds on their YouTube channel. You can watch a lot of stuff. So you don't need to get, now I still recommend tuning in a bit of national news, tuning in a little bit of, absorb the lie, not absorb the lies, but at least hear the lies that they're saying. Sometimes it's good to, I know it's frustrating, but 2 minutes, you can usually time yourself, get a watch. See, you can play a game with yourself, so you get your timer and then you turn on fake news, CNN or, MSNBC or even national news, just national, network news. And you see how many minutes you can last. And then you try to better yourself. It's like an endurance competition. It's an endurance competition of news. But we have to listen. We have to keep our eye and know what it's great, Julie. It's great to listen to other networks to hear their lie. It's good to hear what the lie is. And frankly, you can tell a fact when all of the networks are lying about the fact, but the fact remains constant. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if everybody is saying this thing, and then I'm lying about it from this other angle, you can pretty much start to understand the core thing is a fact. It's a fact they can't get around. That's why they're telling lies about it. Yeah. I know, 2 seconds, John. I know. What we'll all do is one of these days we'll do it together, okay? We'll turn on the news, and then that whole day, everybody, whatever their time is, we'll compare times. We'll issue a trophy or something. It'll be a good day for that. Now, I want to talk about some things going forward. So, you guys, here's why, we have a lot of information. They've said a lot of information about, they're going to release the memo. The memo has been released. They're giving us misinformation. Let me tell you what. We hashtagged release the memo too many times. They got mad because we were actually making progress. Guess what? Until we're all looking at the memo, until I'm sitting here showing you a printed copy of the memo, like this, saying, here's the memo. Keep, hashtag release the memo. Just keep saying it. And when people are like, oh, they're going to release the memo, go, look, my friend Suzzanne said, until we're all looking at a piece of paper of the memo, keep demanding the memo. Yeah, because they're trying to create the fog of confusion with fake news. They're trying to do it. I'm watching them do it. You're watching them do it. We're watching and do it together. We're not going to tolerate that madness. Okay? Now let's talk a little bit about why the shutdown was so annoying and frustrating. They wanted to keep President Trump from going to Davos. They wanted to keep President Trump from continuing his other mission. They certainly are very frustrated that the president has totally schooled them on the DACA negotiation. They screwed themselves with this Dick Durbin ploy, the shithole ploy, Operation Shithole. They screwed themselves. It didn't work. Because they think they still idiots. Oy the vey. Oy the vey. Shirley, as we're going to keep an eye out because there's a lot of people distributing various. I've already seen 2 different versions of what's supposed to be the memo. Now, let me tell you something. There can't be 2 versions of it. If we have 2 versions of it, at least one of them is fake, if not both of them. So we have to wait until we start seeing the consistent thing and we start really seeing the results. Trust me. If the memo is out, these Republicans are going to jump. The ones who called for it to be released are going to start jumping on it. That we have to We have to treat this like we're Mulder and Scully, you guys. And the memo comes from the smoking man, okay? We need to treat this like serious spy level confirmation stuff. Triple, quadruple confirmation. Because they're going to spread misinformation and we need to be on top of it. And actually, that's really already what happened. That's why they have gotten so frustrated. That's why we ended up in the shutdown. Because they tried to spread the misinformation about the president. They tried to blame him for the DACA shutdown. That didn't work. What they found out is they were actually garnering less and less sympathy for the Dreamers. People started to get informed. So all of their complaining about, we must have DACA or we won't fund the government for a month, which is what's so stupid. They threw down the gauntlet now, like a whole month early. It was so stupid. That's all right. The Democrats are dumb. I can't explain it. They threw down the gauntlet. We have to have DACA. Well, guess what? What they actually did is informed the electorate about the difference between DACA and the Dreamers. So we know that, yes, DACA actually just talking about 800,000 members, participants in the program. But the Dreamer group is actually 3.5 million. 3.5 million. 3.5 million. I will repost what I find, Denise, with a disclaimer, because I have not yet seen anything I personally can verify on every angle the memo. Yes, so exactly. Trump giggled because he literally has shut down entirely their ability to negotiate DACA. They've now tried the government shutdown thing to get DACA, and they didn't get it. They got nothing. Nothing. And they're going to throw a new temper tantrum in a few days when the president is like, yes, still no on the DACA. Still no. You guys aren't negotiating in good faith, and they're going to get mad again. But they will have lost their leverage. And they were only able to hold that leverage for 3 days because it was burning their hands. Okay? Whenever you have a government shutdown, it's like holding on, both sides are holding on to a hot metal pipe. Okay? And whose end is hotter faster and gets burned is who has to come off of it. Okay? The Democrats lost. We won. We were able to hold on to the narrative longer than they were. They were getting handed it, and they went, because the shutdown was burning their hands, and it did not help them with DACA whatsoever. In fact, they've now had 2 ways in which their little leverage over DACA has been utterly destroyed. One, the Dick Durbin issue. Yeah, that's actually appropriate for Dick Durbin. The Dick Durbin issue. 2, of course, this attempt at a government shutdown that failed. So they have sabotaged themselves exactly twice. Now, you guys, John, Sherry, all these people who keep talking about no DACA, let me prepare you for something, okay? It is not that Trump is going to negotiate on DACA, all right? But the Democrats are going to call what he does, no matter whether it has anything to do with DACA or not. Okay? Doesn't have to do anything. If he makes a bill on immigration, no matter what actually is in the bill, listen to what I'm saying to you. The Democrats are going to lie and say Trump caved on DACA. Breathe in. Breathe out, because we're going to repeat that, because this is important information that we start to be prepared for. I'm going to repeat myself. No matter what Trump passes or negotiates on immigration, the Democrats are going to lie and say that he is caving on DACA. Okay? So do not listen. I don't want to, I just see it coming down the pipe. I don't want to turn on my Facebook feed, okay, and be scrolling and see a whole lot of angry, nervous Trumpers. He's caving on DACA, they said on CNN. He's caving on DACA, they said on CNN. Oh my gosh, okay? I don't want to see that. I don't want to wake up to that one morning and have to say 1,000 times, why do you believe CNN? So we need to be prepared to know the Democrats, they have to undermine Trump's immigration agenda. They have to. The only success hope they have is to make Trump voters think that he has caved on immigration. They have to make us doubt him. That is the only way they win in 2020, and frankly, that's the only way they get any branch of government back. They have to make us doubt. That's what happened in Alabama. They made Trumpers doubt, and they didn't show up to the polls as much. Okay? So we need to be prepared not to do that. So no matter what the fake news is telling you about the president caving on DACA, unless the president literally comes out himself, says it, and we tweet him and he still says, oh, I don't care what you guys think, I did it because I needed to, then we'll have it out with the president if we need to. But after we've said, did you do this? And he can say, yes, I did, and confirm he's admitting to what he did, because we all know President Trump is going to be straight with the people. Okay? He's not going to tell us a bunch of crap. So, let's pay attention to what the president is saying and not pay attention to what CNN is saying. So important. Yes, Kim, the newly awoken wafflettes need to brace themselves. Brace yourselves for what's coming down the pipe. Many of us who have been on the Trump train since escalator times, okay, if you were a Trumper, escalator time, you were a Trumper you got the heat of rapists, drug addiction. You got the whole heat of, Mexican or rapists first out the gate heat. All right. Now we've been baking in that heat. Some of us Trumpers have been baking in that heat since that day. Like, oh, so you support this guy? It's all racist. And this is what we all had to do. We had to get in the news, to read our news. What did he really say? I watched it live, but let me review in case let me review again. No, that's exactly what he said. Here's his words written down. None of that's racist. I agree with him 100%. Then we had to defend. We had to be on Facebook. I agree with what he said. What part of it? We've been doing that for 2 years. I love Ben Carson, Mary. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He was actually my number 2. Second choice. My first choice for vice president. So, we've been doing that a long time. All you new folks, get used to the process, okay? Here's how it goes. What do they say about Trump? Read. What did Trump say about it? Oh. Okay. I love my president. That's the process. We've all learned to do it. Y'all can learn to do it too. So, we're going to keep moving forward. Usually I do Monday work. I go down, we do some street talking. But as you know, we were out on the streets Friday. Friday, you could not get any reception out of the march whatsoever. I just want to explain to you, I was not able to do a live Friday show because they they literally jam the signal. I don't know who they are. The deep state, I suppose. I couldn't get any signal. I could barely even get signal to text. I had to walk way away from the group. Like, way away from anywhere where they were before I was even able to get a signal at all. Even just to send a post on Facebook. So, yeah, very frustrating. Interestingly enough, a lot easier to go live during the Women's March, although, you do get a little bit of interference because so many people are there. So, very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. No, they did not, Fred, much less blocking on Pussy March Day. Just gotta be honest, I could not get any signal at all anywhere in the world, March for Life grounds all day. Had to go all the way. So the March for Life was on 12th in Constitution, Independence, which is on the mall, 12th Street on the mall. You had to go all the way up by the Capitol building, which is at first, just like third, second, third, all the way over there before you even got any reception at all. Yeah, that was why there was hardly any coverage, because citizens weren't able to do it. I'm actually in the future going to remember to bring my cube camera, my little side camera, so that I can, now I do have some video I did record on the phone. I was able to get some video, but I want to be able to have my side camera so I can keep getting video while I keep trying to go live. And in those, hopefully in those few moments you can pop through. Maybe I'll get like a big radio antenna hat. I'll talk to my, my ham radio people on that, see what we can do. Now, you guys, there's some great things. Let me talk for a few minutes. There's some great things coming up with Stand With POTUS PAC. I'm really super excited about the things that are happening with Stand With POTUS PAC. We're going to need to do a big push because we are hosting a MAGA lounge at CPAC this year. We need to be able to raise some money in order to do that so that we can have a lounge, a place for all of the MAGA people at CPAC to have a MAGA presence at CPAC, to coordinate with other MAGA patriots in the conservative movement, to get people on board, and of course have candidates, a lounge where you can meet candidates, meet people from the campaign. We're talking to candidates. We're trying to get in the ear of Corey Lewandowski. Maybe hopefully Diamond and Silk will be there, pop in. We don't know who's going to pop in. I don't know. But in order to make sure anybody has a place to pop in, we need to get involved. So I'm asking everybody, go to standwithpotus.com, donate 10, donate 25, whatever you can donate to make it possible. We need to raise about $5,000 before CPAC. Yeah, Fred might be at CPAC. Fred might be there. So let me show you this so the FEC don't get mad at me. Okay? If you go and you donate, please share the page. If you go and you can't donate, please share the page. Whichever you can do, whatever you're capable of, standwithpotus.com. Please share that on all of your social media. Share it on take a picture of yourself holding a piece of paper. Put it on Instagram if you have to. Share it on your Twitter, share it on your Facebook. Let's spread some word. And like I said, if you have a little bit of money to put into it, going forward, we are planning the first annual MAGA convention, MAGA conference here in September, right before the national elections across the country. We want to get the MAGA movement on board together. We are holding a convention, a conference. Stand With POTUS will be standwithpotus.com. Stand With POTUS PAC will be sponsoring a MAGA conference in September. It's going to be some interesting stuff. We're going to find out over the next couple days. I'm going to be able to get out to you what tickets are going to look like, all that sort of thing. But we do know we are going to offer here in the beginning of the year, if you get involved with a Stand With POTUS member and donate to Stand With POTUS PAC, we're going to start throwing those tickets in and save you some money, as well as get the movement, get this pack rolling so that we can start doing the work. We need to help pay for these voter drives, you guys, across the country. We need to help pay for these candidate rallies who aren't going to get supported by the RNC. Yes, Mary, it is going to be the same weekend as MOAR. We're looking to have a Thursday event. We're looking to do a Friday all-day conference. We'll be joining up with MOAR people Friday evening for a sort of gathering. MOAR all day Saturday. And then we're hoping to have a Sunday brunch. And I am now in the process of connecting up with the MOAR people to let them know we plan to do that. And we're going to make it happen because I think it's a great opportunity. We have so many patriots already in the city. We want to bring them together. We want to get some dialogue going and get on the same page. So important. MAGA conference in September. So more of that information is going to be coming out. Go to Stand With POTUS PAC. Put in a little money in the kitty if you can. The kitty loves to be able to make America great again. That's what the kitty wants to do. So please feed the kitty. And that's our show. Little Trumpy says, keep making America great again. Laser Snake agrees. I met a great group of people over the weekend at the MAGAversary. Some amazing gays for Trump. I love my gays for Trump. Love my gays for Trump. Do you know how hard it is to be gay and be for Trump? If you think being for Trump is hard, try being gay and being for Trump. Hard. So, love my gays. Yes, or the birdie, whichever you want, Mary. We got to keep MAGA. We're doing it. We are defeating the Democrats. The government opening again is a great sign that we are winning. Let's keep winning. I'm going to keep winning. This girl, she's in monk. Jumping out. See you tomorrow, folks.